Hey guys, this is Arjun speaking to you. Today in this video, I'm going to talk about Ramayana chapter number 7, which is about the Sita's abduction. In the previous video, I have told you that King Dasharatha had passed away and Bharata had come to get Lord Rama from the forest, but Lord Rama did not agree. They lived in the Chitrakuta forest when Bharata had arrived. So after some days, they had Rama and Sita have left the Chitrakuta forest and have arrived in the Dandaka forest. So on their way, they spent some time listening to the chirping of the birds, the cries of the animals, and the beautiful scenic nature. Suddenly, a demon named Viradha had come to slay Rama and Lakshmana. But with their divine weapons, Rama and Lakshmana had chopped off Viradha's hands. Suddenly, when Viradha died, from Viradha, a Gandharva had come. He said that he was cursed by a Maharshi to turn into a Gandharva, to turn into a demon. He thanked Rama and left. So they had spent many days happily here and there. So in the evening, Rama came across one of his devotees whose name is Jatayu. Jatayu was actually a vulture. He promised Lord Rama that he would help whenever he wanted. He helped whenever Lord Rama was in need. Lord Rama blessed him and Jatayu left. So after some time, the 13 years were spent really happily by the trio. But the 14th year was something going wrong. This Ramayana epic is going to contain the last year of the 14 years. So now I'm going to start the reason for the bad things which happened in the 14th year for them. So one day, a demoness named Shurpanaka, she was the sister of Ravana. Shurpanaka was attracted to Lord Rama because she thought that Lord Rama was so handsome and she was attracted and she wanted to marry Lord Rama. Lord Rama did not agree and said her to go to ask Lakshmana if Lakshmana would marry her. Shurpanaka asked the same, but Lakshmana did not agree. When she went to Lord Rama did not agree and said her to go to Lakshmana. They were like it was a cycle that Shurpanaka was going to Rama, but Rama refuses and goes to Lakshmana. Lakshmana refuses and goes to Rama. So this is what was happening. She was furious that Lord Rama and Lakshmana were making fun of her and immediately planned to attack Sita. As soon as she was about to attack Sita, Lakshmana had taken his knife and chopped off Shurpanaka's nose. She went and told one of his stepbrothers, whose name one two of his stepbrothers, whose name were Kara and Dhushana. They came and started attacking the trio, but Lakshmana had taken care of the army by killing them, and Lord Rama has taken the duty to kill Kara and Dhushana. So, after a long fight, Lord Rama had killed Kara and Dhushana. So after that, they spent happily. But after the news of Kara and Dushana's death and Shurpanaka's insultment, Ravana, the king of demons, the dangerous demon, was really angry and planned to abduct Sita. So now he said one of his followers, whose name was Maricha. As I've told you that Subahu and Maricha, the two demons who were throwing blood pieces into the yagya of Vishwamitra's, Lord Rama had attacked them. Subahu had died, but Maricha had survived the arrows and went towards Ravana, running to him, and hence he was still alive. Ravana had ordered Maricha to turn into a golden deer which would attract Lord Sita. He agreed and transformed into a golden deer. When Sita saw, she asked Rama to get the deer for her. Rama agreed. He went chasing the deer, but the deer was so fast that Rama was not understanding where it was going. Finally, Lord Rama got to know that it is not a deer, but it is someone who is a demon or can be a ghost. And immediately he took his bow and shot a powerful arrow which pierced the deer. So from the deer raised up the demon Maricha, and then he started talking in Lord Rama's voice and started shouting for help in Lord Rama's voice. By hearing this voice, Sita was terrified and told Lakshmana to go to Lord Rama. Lakshmana agreed, but before he was going, He used one of his divine arrows and drew a line around the whole hut. He said that this line would be protecting you from attackers who would try to attack you. You would be safe inside inside the house, like inside the line. Sita agreed. This line made by Lakshmana was known as Lakshman Rekha. Lakshmana was happy to see Sita delighted, and Lakshmana ran to Rama's help, thinking it was Rama's cries for the help. So after some time, Maricha had died, and then Rama was really furious with Maricha for making Sita and Lakshmana fool. So after some time, when Lakshmana had reached, Rama had told that who has done this, and Lakshmana had told that he has done a big blunder. They were in the deep middle forest, and they were taking time to come up from that. Meanwhile, Ravana saw and he thought that his plan was about to fail to abduct Sita because there was Lakshman Rekha. When he touched, his legs turned into ashes. Then he tried to transform into a rishi, into a maharshi. Then he sat front of the line. And after that, when Sita saw, she wanted to serve the maharshi with some fruits and water. When she was coming, she was standing inside the Lakshman Rekha and was giving. Ravana, who was inside, thought that again his plan was about to fail and acted as if he was really furious and was walking away. Sita realized that it is not good to leave any Maharshi away from the house, and hence she stopped the Maharshi, who was none other than Ravana. She took the food and stepped out of the Lakshman Rekha and gave it to Ravana. When Ravana was really happy and showed his actual form, without hesitating a moment, abducted Sita and kept her in the flying chariot. So, Sita was so sad that he had been abducted by an immortal demon who was Ravana and threw her precious jewels down so that when Rama would see, he would easily come and protect Sita. As I've told you, one of the devotees, Jatayu, had promised Lord Rama that he would always be in his help. He helped and tried to protect Sita. Jatayu wounded Ravana so hardly that Ravana was furious. He took his sword and chopped off Jatayu's wings. Jatayu was really unhappy. Using his magical powers, he survived for more time so that he could say Rama that Sita had been abducted. So this comes to the end of the 7th chapter of Ramayana. So I hope you liked it. So please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Until next time.